Another week, another potentially questionable decision on Drag Race US. What else is new at this point? But hello, and hi. Okay, David, whatever. Hi, welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real in the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. I say something gay, and it's been a bit of a long day, so I broke out one of my favorite ciders. This is Two Towns Cider House out of Portland, Raspberry Cosmic Crisp, and it is very delicious. So drink responsibly.
Hello, and hi. I am Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spit the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I'm not drinking anything because it's been a long day and I drink everything. And if I keep drinking, I'm going to be up all night going to the bathroom. So I'm not going to do that anymore. But if I was drinking anything, I would be drinking it out of my cup mug. Ooh, panel full of cup mugs, panel full of cup mugs. Beer.
Ooh, the remix.
Yeah, remix now. You can get your cup mug if you live in the United States and Canada and Mexico, for sure, at lanagcreation.etsy.com. If you live outside of the U.S., you know, there are some excuses, but we're working on it and we'll let you know. So, but if you aren't, get your cup mugs, period.
You know, one of my favorite things that I've thought about lately is, so when Lana does have a drink, she's like, I have water. But if I was drinking anything else, it would be out of the right cup mug. But then when she is drinking something else, she says, if I was drinking something else, it would be out of the cup mug. So it's always something else.
Yes.
When are you going to drink out of the cup mug, Lana?
When I wash it.
Yep.
Because right now it's
so valid, bestie.
She's looking for
valid.
that specific something else.
My tea is what I usually drink out of my cup mug.
True.
Mm-hmm. But I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro other than, I guess, what I just did. But I do have a cute shirt, and since she was name dropped on this episode, I was like, this is the perfect time to bring out my Jessica Wilde shirt. Yes,
I love this drink.
Yes, and I love this drink, and it's water. I love it.
What? Oh my god. Well, we are back. We are rounding the corner to the end of season 16. I gotta be honest, I'm a little sad about it. I've really enjoyed this season.
Yeah, I'm so into it. 3 episodes left, I think.
Yeah, it's 3.
Right.
I will say the last 3 US seasons for me have been some of my favorites. I gotta be honest. I really enjoy 14, 15, and now 16. But it is top 5. It's time for 13 was fine. 13 was
a good cast. A good cast.
Brought down by one big T-shaped disaster. But it's top 5. It's time for makeover, aka the most rigged challenge in Drag Race history. And we're going to talk all about everything regarding this challenge. Before we do, though, subscribe if you have not already, because we almost all the time giving you almost all things. We got 3 other channels as well with almost all things reality TV, almost all things Eurovision Song Contest, and almost all things wrestling recap over on our newest channel, The Cup Ringside, hosted mostly and almost exclusively by the resident evil divas. So make sure to go check out all of our channels, as well as our membership channel. Join the tea room for exclusive content and early access to some of our content from across the Cup universe. All those links are down in the description below. And if you feel generous, and we greatly do appreciate it, hit the super thanks button down below. All that money goes right back into making this podcast better for you. So with that being said, we come back into the workroom and Dawn is gone.
Yep, she's gone. Sorry, Dawn.
Can I be honest? I'm still upset about it. No, I was correct. Morphine survived her 3rd lip sync. She's gooped that she survived her 3rd lip sync. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like Widow Von Du lip syncing to Shaka Khan in front of Shaka Khan. Like, there's no way around it. There's no way around it. But
Can I say something?
Can you be honest? I would love
Can I
if
be
you were
honest?
honest.
Okay.
Yes.
So I absolutely have nothing but love and respect and admiration for my dearest wife, Lana. I did have to hop off of the podcast last week before we talked about the lip sync. But I did listen back and I heard your critiques about Morphine, and I see where you're coming from. But the knee thing, that is what Megan the Stallion does in the body video. It is. If you look at the side by side, there's side by side videos, and she's doing the exact same choreo.
I never said her knees were bad. I actually praised her knees. I said she had great Megan Thee Stallion knees. My problem is you got all that BBL and your booty ain't moving. It ain't moving.
Okay,
You got if you go do the Megan Thee Stallion, because if you want to side by side it, look at Megan Thee Stallion's butt when she's
not everybody
doing,
can twerk though.
that's my whole thing. You go do the body and your whole thing is you miss BBL. I got this booty. I done paid for it. You better make that thing twerk. You in Miami, baby. You just go to any strip club on the strip and ask one of them strippers to show you how to make them cheeks clap. Like, seriously, you a drag queen, they strippers. That's pretty much in the same universe. Y'all make it work because they understand performance and you are a performer. They are performers. Just go down to there, find one of them girls who got them big jiggly tingly things and they be making it do what it do, and just ask them to show you how to do it. She can learn it. With all that, you can do it. You can make your booty clap. You got all that butt, you got to make that booty clap. You go body out, you make the booty clap. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know that it's always a learned trait. Being able to
learn trait. You can learn it.
Anybody
can learn how to do it if you take the time to do it.
I think genetics definitely is a factor there.
David, I would like to see you learn how to twerk.
Yeah, I could not.
Possible.
I could never.
I'm telling you, it's really possible, especially if. And here's the thing: maybe not everybody can learn how to do it, but here's the thing: Morphine's a dancer.
Mm-hmm. She danced the crap out of that song.
I did not say she didn't. I never said she didn't. I just said she need to go to the strip club and show you got all that ass you paid for. Go get that thing moving. That's all.
What did you call it earlier?
That thingly thing, that jiggly thing.
That jiggly thing. Yeah.
Make that thingly thing do what it do, baby. Because I'm telling you,
well, maybe it's just a dangly thing.
It's only go enhance her performance, and the people are gonna love it if she can go and make them cheeks clap with all that. Because she's so proud of that butt. And I will be proud of it too if I had it. I will be proud of it too. But I'm gonna go and figure out how I can make my thingly thing do the thingly thing. And I'll be like,
the shape of it,
jiggly,
not the movement
of it.
I'll be like, Misty, Candy, Larisha, come over here and show me how you swap, and show me how to do it. Because literally, it's just loosening it up. It's really just making your hips loose and that half of your body loose where you can jiggle it. And she got it. She just needs to learn how to jiggle it.
Jiggly jangling.
She got to make that jiggly thing jiggle.
Yeah. Well, that's fair.
Like
I really enjoyed it. And I did, like, when they showed the recap, I did notice a thing that I think subconsciously I had noticed the first time, but when she was down on her knees, like facing forward, and you could see her butt, I'm like, what is this lump, like, right in her, like, taint area? What is this thing?
That's
this just
tuck.
lump. Yeah, and I'm so glad they brought it up in this episode.
Oh God!
In
I
the
was gonna say her thingly thing gets ripped all the way back. Apparently,
oh my gosh, we will get into that
at length.
Oh my gosh! How does
I think Lana missed this part of the episode.
Oh, she probably did. I'm mortified.
But we come into the workroom the next day, and they get to play Drag Race Monopoly. How adorable and lovely and wonderful, and it lasts all of 5 seconds. Then RuPaul walks into the workroom and brings in 5 very incredibly attractive dancers from RuPaul's Drag Race Live. And I said, oh. And then the way that they did who was going to which person for the makeover was by ball draw. And then the men proceeded to tear off their tearaway pants. And I said, don't show me these men with these thick thighs. Please, you can't do this to me, Drag Race. You can't do this to me. I was Q in that moment. I was like, girl, they're thingly thangs, we're thingly thangling, Lana. It was all over.
Dangling.
They were dingly danging everywhere.
Mm.
So they get randomly assigned their makeover partner for a makeover challenge, traditional drag family resemblance makeover challenge. This workroom stuff was very lovely because I think for the first time in a long time, you had these men that are so familiar with the Drag Race universe and just hadn't done it themselves. But I loved as the episode went on, each one of them was like able to release a little bit more like femme side of themselves. And that's what I loved the most because they all came in as like, yeah, bro, where's David's
Tits.
exactly tits. The occasion I will do it with you. But yeah, they were like, yeah, masculine. And then, you know, they all as soon as all of them put the heels on, they were like, ooh, girl. It's the way Q's partner outwalked her.
Right. I love him. I love him. I know they were talking about
adore him.
They were talking about how he was reserved, but just the way that Q rubbed off on him in the best way.
Yeah.
And he was the biggest S talker in the room. His read for
that.
Morphine was like, I can't remember exactly how it was said, but
I don't remember either.
He said something about a place you've never been, referring to the top after she said something to him.
Yeah.
And we had to rewind it and watch that again. I was like, oh, the shade. And Morphine is such a good sport about it. And I've wondered this because there's been a few different times, especially with Mhi'ya, where like shady things were being said to her. And I'm like, ooh, how's she handling this? But I think this is where I'm really starting to realize she loves being read. She takes it all in stride. She has no like negative energy about that. So I really respect that. And it makes I think it's part of the reason it makes this cast fun is because a lot of them are very lighthearted with how they interact.
Unlike Plain Jane, Morphine is a girl that can dish it and take it just as well. Like, and I agree with you. I feel like she enjoys the whole process of reading and like getting it back and then having a shady comment back. Like, I love that. The shade was all over the room because we find out that Sapphira and Q's makeover partners are best friends. And so there's like an inherent competition between the two of them. And Sapphira was like, oh yeah, Q and I have had our moments. And Sapphira's partner, Mark, something to that effect. Matt, like, something to that effect.
She's mad because I beat her a lot.
A lot. I was like, I mean, she ain't wrong though. She ain't wrong though. And then we find out that Nymphia's partner is not only straight, but has an Australian wife.
And I kept yelling at the TV. Like every question Nymphia had, I was like, he's straight. He's straight. Because I knew that one was. I was wondering about a few of them, but I'm like, that one.
I was like, all the other ones are is going off. Yeah, homosexuals. And I love, it was Plain's partner. He was also one of the ones that was a little bit more reserved. But then when Plain was like talking about her style of drag, he goes, oh, thank God. I just want to be a slut. That was like I feel like all of them through random draw, I feel like all of them got the perfect person to make over, honestly. It felt like everyone's personalities gelled really well in a way that we've seen, makeovers in the past not go that way. Lux Noir London. But that wasn't her fault. But I love the moment they put on those heels and Q's partner Sebastian just started strutting, and he had that swing in his hips, and he had that little, like, it was everything to me. One of my favorite things in the universe is seeing masculine presenting men being so feminine and just like unleashing that part of ourselves. And I fucking love it. There's something about it that just makes me happy every time I see it. Because I'm very much so that way myself. So I think that might be part of it. But this whole sequence is lovely. They do a walk off. They're figuring out what they're wearing. No one really with the makeover outfits that they've brought except for Sapphira. Because we also find out, because all of these guys are dancers, there is a dance component to the makeover challenge. And Sapphira is sitting here with this giant, custom, kind of ugly, if I'm being 100% honest with you, kind of really ugly geo dress. And I was like, why are you wearing this gray velvet foam covered geo dress, Sapphira?
I just want to say, so last week on the podcast, I was like, I think Sapphira has the best package of looks of any queen on their first season. And then when I saw her wearing that thing, I'm like, Sapphira, please don't make me out to be a liar.
She didn't wear it on the runway.
And the thing is, when she threw it away, I'm like, oh, good. Oh, good. It can only be better. We'll get into it.
Marginally. I also have to say, this is the first time in an episode where I was like, wow, Sapphira's really hot out of drag. Like, the moment she took off the dress on the runway and was shirtless, I was like, wait a minute. He's hot. This whole episode, I was like, everyone's hot. At this point, everyone's hot. To an extent. But yeah, Sapphira...
Speaking of hot, though, I do want to mention, I noticed a picture that was shared on the Twitter sphere of Sapphira's partner, who I thought was very cute. But one Miss Lemon shared a picture with him, but I was seeing double because he actually has a twin, an identical twin. Yeah. And how revealing do I want to be with myself right now? Let's just say twins are awesome. I love twins.
Aren't they great?
They are. They are. I love twins. So I was like, okay, good for you.
Not a singular experience, David. Don't worry. Welcome to the Cup After Dark.
I guess
But yeah, as they're doing their like rehearsal stuff, Plain is a little worried because her guy is like doing some pretty intricate choreo. Q is worried. We know why. Sapphira's worried because she knows her garment isn't going to work. So after that moment, all we see of Sapphira is her just literally making garments, like sewing, doing things. Thankfully for her, her makeover partner's look that he was lent to her Plane Jaunet. And I was like, how congenial. The one moment of congeniality that she's had this season. Sister, I have to be honest. I'm going to be honest here. This episode, I was kind of like, wait, do I kind of like Plain Jane a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
I don't forget what she's done to several queens on this season. But I'm kind of like, you're not horrible.
You know how I know you feel different about her?
I start calling her Plain Jane.
Yes.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. It's like I'm not calling.
I like it. I like it.
I do too.
I always wanted to be very open-minded with her. And again, like I said, I'm not going to forget, the things that she said and did to Amanda, because I still don't think that's okay. And the things she continues to say and do to Amanda, even in the current era, which I don't love. But I'm finding as she gets more confident in herself in the season and shows more vulnerability, I'm liking her a little bit more. She's not my favorite on this season. She's my 5th favorite amongst the top 5.
Yeah. I do like in reference to what you just mentioned, there was a tweet that I saw today from an account called Plain Jane's Minion. They tweeted out, what needs a spell is Amanda's ugly makeup. And Dawn quote tweeted it and said, watch your tongue, bitch, and showed 3 different pictures of Amanda with really good makeup. In the first comment, the top comment I see is from actual Plain Jane. She says, "My fans still coming for Miss Girl is giving tacky and classless." So
okay.
good for you, Plain Jane. Put them in their place.
I'll take
because
that.
not everybody will put their fans in their place.
We know some girls that don't. Valentina. But speaking of Plain Jane, the mirror moment that we get as everyone's getting ready, it's kind of dominated by Sapphira still sewing. And Plain and her partner talking about, growing up a little bit more in a more like conservative sort of mindset. I think she said her partner didn't come out, or her makeover partner didn't come out into college or something like that. And Plain talked about, or he talked about pursuing his dream because he was in a car accident. That's what it was.
Right.
I was like, it was a very specific, pretty traumatic thing. He was in a car accident, survived, and decided to pursue his dream of being a dancer. And Plain was able to relate to that a lot because we've heard her talk about her ballroom dance background. And she talked to him about, giving up ballroom dance because her parents wanted her to, be more successful. They've come to an understanding about her drag. And we find out that she's currently in school and balancing finishing her degree and doing drag full time, which like, I can only imagine that's wild to me.
But marketing, like what a great degree to have as a drag queen, because that's basically what your career is.
Either marketing or communication are like the two that I'm like, if I'm a full-time drag queen finishing a degree, that's what I'm going to get a degree in.
And she's a hell of a marketer for herself. Like
she is.
Immediately she's been about branding. Like even if we've had issues with her as a person sometimes, you cannot deny that she really knows how to sell the Plain Jane brand.
Yeah.
And she knows how to sell other names too.
We will get to the name of this dumb bitch on the runway because we also got a RuPaul walkthrough, but like honestly, the only things of note are Lazy Susan.
Ru almost died.
We got a cackle laugh out of RuPaul in this episode.
RuPaul almost had a wheezing heart attack laughing at Lazy Susan. I was like, girl, you don't calm down.
And it was just as big in the workroom as it was on the runway still. And I'm like, he is really just like an old man that's easily enthused at the most the lowest hanging fruit at this point. Drag Race is just who can have the lowest hanging fruit jokes at this point. Like my favorite moment of this entire episode though is when he's doing the walkthrough with Morphine, and Ru is like, well, Morphine, you've been in the bottom for the last 2 weeks. How do you feel? And Morphine goes, well, I told him that I won the last 2 challenges, so I think we should just stick with that narrative.
Her partner just looked shocked as soon as RuPaul said that. And I'm like, why does he look so shocked?
She's like, I told him I won the last 2 challenges, so like, let's just stick with that narrative, Ru. How about that? And Morphine is so good about bantering with RuPaul too. That's something that I've noticed in the few walkthroughs we've gotten with RuPaul. Is like Morphine's a very good at that volleying with Ru as well. So is Sapphira. Forrest Whitaker will haunt me till the day I die. And the fact that she changed his drag name or her partner's drag name because Ru was like, well, why don't you call him Sequoia or Shakira? And she said, she pulled a Mo Hart, pick up the nugget, hot mustard. And I was like, yes, you better. You take that and you run with it. You run with it. It wouldn't have changed the outcome of this episode, but you run with it, Sapphira. But that's all I had from the workroom stuff. So I think we can.
That's all I had.
Boom. Our fabulous, gorgeous judging panel with guest judge. I know neither of y'all probably had not a damn clue who this woman was.
I've heard her. She's had some pop songs.
Yes. Miss Kelsey Ballerini, one of my favorite country artists. I love this woman. I've been hoping, because she, in Untucked, we see her snippets of her performance from the CMT Awards last year, where she brought drag queens on stage with her. It was
Manila, Jan,
No.
Olivia.
Jan, Olivia, Kennedy, and Manila.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said
Say
Bendela.
Manila first.
I thought you
No,
said
he said
Bendela.
Manila.
I'm tired. Sorry, David. Yes, Manila, Kennedy, Jan, and Olivia. Which I mean, she's been very, very outwardly outspoken in country music and in Nashville, talking about being an ally for us, and I appreciate her for it because not a lot of country artists are, but the ones that are, I always appreciate them for it. And she looks so damn cute.
She did. The thing I said when watching the episode was, man, she must be a great singer because she was not a personality at all. Like I was.
Yeah.
So I have this term. Only a few of my friends know this term because I use it so sparingly and it doesn't make sense. And I usually use it when I'm talking about Australian Survivor. But there are people that I call a personality vacuum, not like a Hoover, whatever. It's like just sucks the personality out of the room because they just don't have it. They're void of it. And I did not get any personality from her, but I love that she's an ally, and I love that she's talented and has a successful career, but personality, I didn't get it. And I'm sorry to her fans.
Her and Untucked. Did you watch Untucked?
I did. I still didn't.
Her
get
and
it.
Untucked, I got a little bit more from
Fair.
her. I do tend to agree with you on that. She's a great live singer, and her discography is wonderful. So, also T.S. Madison.
And they've been coming for her on the internet.
Stop coming for Maddie. Well, I don't even need to defend her. She's defending herself very, very well. So, this Ru look, cute.
Yeah.
Cute. Michelle, cute.
Yeah.
I think my favorite look out of the four is actually Maddie.
I could see that. Yep. Good fabric.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good. But yes. Category is drag family resemblance.
Look at those hearts.
What?
Hearts? In the background?
Oh, child, I ain't see him.
Wait, neither of you saw them? And one of you
I did.
Oh,
I did.
Okay.
It's only on the top, though.
Right.
Oh,
There's one hanging down there on the bottom or middle, lower half.
Sure. It's an ombre of hearts.
I was like, what hearts? All I see is white.
It's not. Oh, is this a gingham situation again?
It was until I sat up. I was like, oh.
I love this background.
I love this drink. Drag family resemblance. First up, Licqour-Jete. I mean, Q and Luna.
So, I really like this. I really like this, and I know maybe not everybody will agree with that on the panel.
No,
this is giving like Missouri drag. I just because like this is something you might see Crystal Method wearing. It's just like we have a lot of queens in Missouri that just really like to think outside of the box, create this like character, and just be really crafty with it. Like this is also something I could see a universe where Mo Hart is wearing something like this. I just was so intrigued by it. I really like it. It's almost like there's two different things going on. You got the whole like stripes in patterns with the red, and then on top of that you got this like pastel monster with big eyes. So I thought it was really cool having kind of the two clashing worlds here. This almost feels like an Real Monsters character come to life. And I love the makeup. I mean, sure, I get that it may have been inspired by a different drag queen.
darling, it's not inspired. It's a direct.
Yeah. But even so, like I still think it looks really good on her. I like these wigs a lot. I don't know. They were giving me everything I needed, and this was the most comfortable I've seen Q with like performing on the stage too. So I thought this was a very, very strong night for Q.
Here's my problem with this look, because we've seen Q do this top with the bra top over it a couple times now. And I'm like, you are this designer. You make your own clothes. You do all these things, but it's the same things. It's the bra, the panty over something, and then you put all the stuff. Like I think the colors and all of that is nice, but it's like it's the same thing, and I want something else. I want something, like, and we can't deny like the bra thing has been done over on top of something has been 3 weeks in a row.
But what's
3.
wrong with the signature type of style? Seriously.
But I wouldn't
Because
call
it's,
that her signature though. That's the thing. Is like
I
we've
say,
seen her do so many more extravagant and big things. It's like we were saying on the UK versus the world thing. Like honestly, with Marina and with Le Grand Dame, Q has set such a high bar for herself that like anything below that just feels a little flat.
I mean, I feel like if this is her signature thing, then I need to know that it's her signature thing. I don't know that it's her signature thing. I just think she just repetitively does it and not mention like this is my signature style. Like I don't know that. And that's just because I don't know. Maybe she said it and I just don't know. I just want to see something else. I just want to see something else. But I do think the colors are great. I think the makeup is cute. Sure, it might be taken from another drag queen. I don't know that. For somebody who ain't never seen it before, I don't know that. So for me, it looks good. I think it's cute. I think the outfit is fine. I just want to see something different. I think what she did to her makeover partner is great because I do love the eye on the poncho. I think that's a good little cute little thing. I
And
just
she's
want
got the mouth on her, like the teeth and
I
the
see
lips.
that the mouth on her, the eye on her, but she also has a mouth
Right.
down there too. And so it kind of like if it was like just the eye and the mouth, then I'm like, oh, okay, they go together. But I don't know. I think I just want more from Q's look than I do her makeover partner. I think her makeover partner's fine, but I think I want a little bit more from Q's look.
I have the exact same critique, Lana. I think makeover look is gorge. I was a little I think Q's look is fine, but I do agree it ends up being a bit of similar things we've seen. We've seen a coat that's very similar to this. This reminds me of the coat she wore in the Power performance, just with some fur on it. Like it's same color scheme, same sort of delivery of it. We've seen the bra and the corset and the panty a few times now from her. I don't love that the makeup is a direct copy from somebody else's. I'm going to be honest. I saw this as something inspired by Licqour-Jete from DragRace España. When I watched the episode the first time, I didn't realize it was an exact copy. And to my knowledge, Q hasn't said anything about it. And if it is an exact copy, cool. I just would have loved like Q's take on it. Like I would have loved a different color scheme because the yellow and the pink for me make no sense with the overall color story that's going on here. Yes, there's yellow and pink in the fur itself. But I would have loved for the makeup to at least have been a different color, have it be a red, have it be, you know, something that ties in a little bit more with their two looks specifically if you're going to do a makeup like this. The makeup is good and the transformation is good. Luna did a great job. I just was wanting a little bit of something more from Q. And no, I'm not going to score her low. Don't worry, David. But
her partner was Luna.
Yeah, her partner either should have been A, so they were Q and A, or U, so they were Q and U, because Q can never be without U.
I think P. P's and Q's.
But it's not announced P's and I think that's cute.
Yeah, I think it would be
cute.
But tip. Q and tip.
That would have been so fun. Or
QT.
Ball.
QT. Oh.
Or ball. Q ball.
Q ball.
Yeah. I think a Q and a T would have been QT.
Anyway. There were a lot of I didn't get Luna. I'm gonna be honest. I really didn't understand Luna, but as a name, but whatever. Guys.
90.
79.
84. Next up, Morphine, Love Dion, and Latina. Love Dion.
What do I hate about this? This is not a rhetorical question.
Everything.
No, what specifically do I hate about this?
Nude
The nude
illusion.
illusion.
Yes, it's so bad on this.
So obvious and bad.
Oh my gosh, I did not like that at all. I don't know why. Why was that necessary? And like even like the just stark like ending of it. And if the guy has tattoos,
It's not nude illusion. It's a breastplate that she cut.
oh my
That's the thing. Is they're both wearing breastplates, and that was. I'll get to my critique, but they're breastplates. It's not a nude illusion.
Okay, well,
That's bad.
either way, I did not like that. Put something around that. Put something around it to hide it. That was very distracting. As far as the look goes, it's fine. It's really fine. It's just very simple. Like, I don't know how you go on Drag Race being like, let me just have this kind of sequin tearaway, thinking that that's going to give you anything like high or a win. I don't know. I was pretty disappointed. And just knowing that she's been the makeup girl, I don't necessarily like her makeup style on this face. I think she had one of the bigger challenges because this guy has such a masculine, like he has really strong features. And she has such dainty features on her face. So I think it was extremely hard to really translate her mug on his mug. I do like how they performed it, and I like that he just didn't get tripped up when the bottom part didn't tear away as fully as he wanted to. So I'm not saying I hate it. It was just like extremely underwhelming. Like this absolutely bottom too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very simple, very whatever, very lackadaisical for me. Very, not a whole lot going on. The breastplate is not good. I like cover it up or blend it more. I don't know what you got to do, but it's just not. It's too distracting. It's too distracting. Yeah, it's just too simple for me.
Yeah, I was really frustrated with this for Morphine because I really honestly thought going in, I'm like, this could be Morphine's challenge. And she talked about how this was her favorite challenge on Drag Race and how she wanted to do so well. I will say the actual physical makeup transformation is probably the best out of the five of them. I think she did a really good job with his face. And I agree with you. I agree with you both. She had a tough canvas to work with. I think she did very well in the face. Where she loses me is everywhere else in the garment. I think she came in thinking, I'm going to have a family member or friend for this makeover. And so I know that my friend is going to look really good in this garment. I'm not going to have to worry.
Yeah,
Girl, make a boa, make some straps for the damn gown. I don't care what it is. Just it's so frustrating to me.
Yeah. The strategy is to have a bigger look in something that you can edit down if needed. And I think that's why Q had a look that could work on almost any body shape.
Absolutely.
And I have a feeling Sapphira was thinking the same thing. She just wasn't prepared for the dance aspect. We'll talk about that.
We will.
But yeah, I really think she made a mistake in packing this for her. I don't know what she was thinking, to be honest.
I don't either. I really don't. But again, the face, gorge.
Yep.
Don't
love the wig either.
No, I agreed with the judges. The wig needed to be bigger to balance it. Everything needed to be bigger and more grandiose to balance the fact that that's a big ass man.
Yeah, we've seen her wear that wig, right? Because I feel like I remember. Yeah. No, the one that he's wearing. I feel like I've seen with those specific like flip outs.
I think that's her entrance wig.
Okay, I think you could be right.
Because the Kali Uchis look, I think that's her entrance wig.
Okay.
Yeah, or a modified version of her entrance wig. Because I recognize the flips too. I was like, that feels like something Morphine's worn. Yeah, that's probably it. But scores.
I'll give her a 64.
63.
62. Next up, Nymphia Wind and Juanita Wind.
Yeah, so this is where Miss TS has been getting some flack from the audience for calling her out for always wearing yellow. And people are like, she did not always wear yellow when you were there. And there was one of her best looks this season was a red look that TS Madison was there for. But I can understand where TS is like, "Oh, okay, well, maybe one was not yellow, but and also I said it on last week. I think it's such a tired critique. I do get really tired when people just keep bringing up like colors or certain branding things. So, but I'm not going to pile on. She's entitled to her opinion. For me, I thought this was very good. I really like these two looks. I thought it was so smart to have these specific colors. I think they just really complement each other well. And yeah, yellow and purple, they are complement. No, it's yellow. Yeah, it's yellow and purple are complementary colors, right?
They sure are,
Okay.
David.
Yep. So that was smart. And they gave the critique about like, oh, you've worn so much yellow. Why not give that to your partner? And I'm like, no, heck no. I think absolutely that would have been a mistake to take your brand and put it on your partner and then you come out in the purple. No, that would not have made.
That's actually the one thing I would have actually liked
Okay.
to see personally. And that's honestly
Well,
my one critique with the
hard
look.
disagree.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And I can't wait to hear you talk about it. Yeah, it was giving me a little bit Big Bird with the orange stockings.
Was that not the inspiration? I figured it was.
Okay, maybe like a Manila type of Big Bird look. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
You could be right, but yeah, I thought this was definitely one of the stronger looks of the night overall.
So this was my favorite actually. Upon reflection, thinking about the presentation and the way it was done in the makeover itself, I actually would have given the win to Nymphia on this occasion. I think it was pretty close between the top three for sure. For me, what does it is this was the clearest concept out of any, the clearest concept and the most well-executed concept. I got what she was going for. I got the whole thing. The corset dresses are really cute. The feathering here is gorgeous. I really would have actually liked to see Nymphia swap it and give her partner the yellow as a way to like share part of herself with him. I think that could have been a nice narrative story to see. I don't mind her in the yellow at all. Obviously, I like her in yellow. I'm wearing yellow because I love Nymphia. It was actually so messaging the whole time. Didn't even know it. But I did really like this. I think the wigs here are gorgeous. The actual physical makeup transformation, I think, is very well done on Nymphia. When she said she can paint anybody, I believed her, and it's true. I think the makeup here on Juanita is really well done. The transformation is good. There's enough like feathering and things happening in the upper body where it does mask a bit more of the masculine broad shoulder situation in the way that Morphine wasn't able to do. The presentation with the bird beak I thought was really lovely. Overall, this was my favorite of the night.
Yeah, I like this look. I thought it was smart. It was well thought out. I don't mind Nymphia in this yellow, in this particular look. At this point, it doesn't really matter. We know the brand. We know the girl. She loves yellow. Let the girl wear yellow. It's fine. It is
I'm
what it
excited to
is.
see her yellow finale elegance.
Absolutely. It's going to be, if it is, I will be like, girl, do it.
I would be goofed if it wasn't. I'd be so goofed if it wasn't.
But
if
you know
it's
what?
not, I hope it's like a nod to her Taiwanese culture. That's the only other one that I'm like, it's going to be one of those two. I hope it's one of those two. But sorry, go ahead.
No, but yeah, I thought they looked great. I like the look. I like the look on both of them. I like how Nymphia did painted her face, and they look comfortable and fun, and yeah, I liked it.
Scores
87.
93.
95. Next up, Sapphira Cristal and Sapphira Cristal.
Yeah. So Yeah, I do think it's super unfortunate what happened here. Like I'm really kind of annoyed that they didn't let them know that they would need something that they're supposed to dance in. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. I doubt it. I doubt it because I
From
don't
what I've
think
heard from the girls, the eliminated girls, that wasn't part of the brief.
Okay. Well, that's super frustrating.
Yeah.
So I do think Sapphira did the best she could. And I really respect a queen who can really improvise and swerve when they need to. And she really didn't delay. It was pretty immediately. She's like, okay, I need a plan B. I think she did the best she could. With that said, I don't love this. I think that the thing that bothered me the most about Sapphira's look was the blue underneath, because I kept being like, why is that there? Because it's just enough that you see it, but it's not enough that it feels deliberate. It really feels like she had that in there to add volume to her dress, and not necessarily to be part of the look itself. So I kept like expecting like, oh, are we going to get some sort of reveal on the runway with that, and then she was going to turn into blue, and that didn't happen. I think the colors match really well. The wigs match really well. Her face actually looks really good on her partner. I was very impressed with the makeup. But unfortunately, the looks are just extremely underwhelming on this, and it's really heartbreaking because I adore Sapphira, and I've recently just been championing how strong her looks have been, and this just it doesn't feel right, and it's like it's going to be a big asterisk on her runway package for me because this was never supposed to happen, and I really don't want this to be a black mark on her record here. So it's I'm really annoyed, and not with her.
Yeah, I agree. I'm annoyed with them for not letting them know so they can come in more prepared and with the right outfit that they needed. But what I will say is, the outfit itself isn't super great, sure, but I feel like she gave a concept that could work for this. Like they were talking, I didn't like the critique of there's no family resemblance here, and I'm like, duh. She said it in her thing, like the mother daughter. The daughter's the dancer. I'm the mother of the dancer, so I'm the momager, and so my baby had to wear orange outfit today for her dance recital. So I put my orange outfit to match my baby so I can show my support, which a lot of momagers be doing when they get these, these dance girls or recitals or whatever. I know it's not what she wanted and it wasn't what she brought with her, but I feel like she made the best of what she had in that moment to do it. So I'm not faulting her for having to make a plan B. And I don't think this outfit is super horrendous, but I just standing next to the other girls on the stage, is it the least is it the yeah, it is. It's probably the one of the worst ones standing next to the on that runway. But I feel like it has more something something than Morphine's, because Morphine's is just a plain simple sequins dress. At least this is giving us something. The volume in the skirt, the flower, the feathers on the top. It's something. It has movement.
Mhm.
But I love the wigs. I think the wigs are great. I do like her face on her partner's face. I think it works. I just think it was an unfortunate situation that she did the best she could with what she had.
Was she worthy of bottom two? 100% without a
Yeah.
shadow of a doubt. And
Mhm.
I've been the biggest Sapphira champion on this podcast the whole season. I love this woman. I want her to be the winner of this season of Drag Race. This was bottom two worthy. What I will go ahead and say is, for the fact that this was never supposed to be her makeover, and the fact that she basically came up with this entire concept top to bottom and was sewing things until right before the runway started, I have to give her major kudos, because I think the story that they were able to tell was remarkable with such little time, or with what little time they had. The only thing I would have liked with this because I agree the blue was a little bit distracting. All I needed was for Shakira's gloves to be blue. That would have just given a little bit more, and maybe like a blue detail in Sapphira's gloves. I just wanted, if the blue is going to be there, make it intentional, even if it wasn't. I would have liked it if it didn't have the blue, and I would have liked it if she had the blue and made the blue intentional. The blue didn't feel intentional in her garment, but Shakira looks fantastic. The face is a phenomenal makeup transformation. The hair was a little floppy towards the end. I think Sapphira herself looks phenomenal in this. I gotta be honest. I love this feather A-line, big poofy little skirt situation on her with this wig. I think she looks phenomenal. The makeover transformation on a whole, not worthy of anything higher than bottom two in this realm. But yeah, kudos for what she was able to do with a bad situation. So, scars.
Mama, kudos for
I was literally
Mama, kudos for saying that, for spilling.
66.
I hate doing this to Sapphira, because it's just sickening that she gets anything lower than 70, 80, 90, anything. But 67.
I am going to give her a 70 because she looks good. Her partner does look as good as he could have been. And I just love her outfit and the story. I will be giving her a 70.
I do want to say my favorite like mini subplot that literally probably nobody else noticed in the world. But for me, it was Sapphira was in Untucked. It was when Kelsey was out talking to the girls, and Sapphira was talking, and I kept noticing there was like a big like blotch of like orange stuff on her glove, and she like you kept noticing it, and she kept like playing with her gloves, and she would look down a lot, and then at one point, like after like when Kelsey was saying, "Oh, I'll give you my number," she looks down, she looks up, and then she makes a face and looks back at her glove, like, "What the heck is this on my glove?" So I don't know. I don't know. She must have got orange paint or something all over her glove.
How did she do that?
I don't know, but it was hilarious because it was like, what is that? And then eventually she had that same face, like, what is that? And it was very subtle.
We would love some answers.
Since she watches.
Let us know? Of course, yes, of course. Sapphira Cristal is a fan of this podcast, obviously. But yes, Sapphira, let us know. I would love some clarification on that. And last up, Plain Jane and Lazy Susan.
Okay. I'm gonna say it. Miss Lazy Susan, you sure won this challenge for Plain Jane, because Lazy Susan was everything with her delivery. And I've already seen people on Twitter, and I'm absolutely with them. Lazy Susan for season 17. No, season 17 is way too soon. But if she came back, I was going
to say 18, 19, or 20. Give her a little bit of moment.
If she came back, I would absolutely be here for it. And people are like, "Oh, that's Gothy Kendall's face." The face.
Oh yeah, no, Lazy Susan. Like it fits.
I got a bit of Morgan Michaels from her face. Yeah. And the people I watched with agreed once I pointed that out. But
it's like a Morgan McMichaels, Gothy Kendall, like Sminty drop hybrid.
Yeah. I thought they did very well, and they look really good. I mean, this is a silhouette we've seen a lot from Plain Jane, but it still looks good. My only issue though is that when we're doing family resemblance, I want to see sisters. I don't want to see twins, and this was too twinsy for me.
I get it, but I feel like this is the easiest route to go when you don't know who your partner is going to be. So it's like, let me make an outfit that I know that can fit and do some. I like this look. I thought it was fun. Yes, this is Plain Jane's. We've seen this look on Plain Jane a lot, but see, this the thing. That's what y'all were talking about, branding with Plain Jane. She's so good at branding because we know this is the Plain Jane look. And now we see this on Lazy Susan, and it's like you repping for Plain Jane. And it's like it's just a good vibe. And yeah, I think Lazy Susan ate this challenge completely up. She left no crumbs behind with this challenge. It was very good.
What'd she say? She rubbed her pussy on the floor or something like that.
Something like that.
Whatever she did it, and she ate it up, and it was good. This was my favorite look for the night because I thought it was I just felt like the whole package was right. Everything about this was right. The padding was good. They looked like twins. Well, they looked like, I felt like not twins. I felt like that was the younger sister trying to be like the older sister. And so I got my sister's makeup and I put on my sister's clothes, and it was the younger sister trying to be like her older sister and copy her style and copy her look, and then was like, let me show you what I've been working on, sis. And then bam, 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 work it out.
Same thing, yeah.
I just loved it. And I thought it was really good and executed very well.
It was a little sugar and spice for me.
Oh, it was fundamentally sugar and spice for me. Like, I got sugar and spice immediately. I will not deny that this package from Plain Jane on this challenge was impeccably done. I think her and Lazy Susan performed the hell out of this challenge. Their win was very deserved overall. For me personally, I do agree with David, and I want it to be sisters, not twins. All I would have needed for this is if the arm part on Lazy Susan would have been yellow and the corset, like, invert the colors.
Yeah.
All I would have needed, because then it would have been coordinating outfits and not identical outfits.
Yeah.
That's all I really would have needed. And for me, I'm going to give this a similar score that I gave Nymphia, because I think both of those makeover packages were very strong together. For me, because of the identicalness of these outfits, I would have edged Nymphia just a little bit over Plain. But the performance was incredible. My second favorite part of this episode is when Lazy Susan whips her ponytail back in the face. I was like, that's what you get for treating Amanda like shit. Karma is a bitch and her name is a mandatory meeting.
By way of Lazy Susan.
By way of Lazy Susan. Thank you, Lazy Susan.
A mandatory meeting, put something on a Lazy Susan, spun it around to hit.
Oh my God. Scores.
Not doing too much.
She put that karma on the Lazy Susan. I gave her an 84.
I gave her a 96.
91. We kind of already talked about a lot of Untucked. The only thing that I wanted to bring up was we get a very lovely, wonderful message for Sapphira from Honey Davenport, who was one of my favorites. Her platonic life partner, who I remember her talking about preseason in the Entertainment Weekly interviews with Joey Nolfi. And I was like, I see the connection. Their drag is very, very similar in the way that they conceive things. And I just love Honey Davenport so much. Like, one of my favorites, deserves another shot at Drag Race. Very deserving of it.
I did think it was a little sad that she had to be like, hey, it's me, Honey Davenport from season 11. And
right.
Like, she honestly, she did have to explain who she was. I knew immediately, but the people I watched with did not know who she was. And they've watched every season. But it is sad because she deserves to be a bigger name. She has such a legacy. Like, her legacy is incredible and crazy. And she's responsible for so many people who have been on Drag Race. She's such a mother. She's really nurtured like generations of drag queens. And I just feel like she's so underrated. She had an incredible package on season 11, and I really want her to come back again and just show everything she's capable of.
She is iconic for being the one person to go home in the 6-way lip sync.
Mhm.
Like, that in itself. And her glow up since season 11 is remarkable.
Mhm.
Honey Davenport for All Stars 10, please. And thank you. And also Sugarcane while you're at it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, honey. Oh, honey. 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 Anyway, we get our results and we find out that the winner of this week's challenge deserved Miss Plane-Janae. Great. Love that for her.
But what's interesting is for those of us, or for those of you keeping score,
Yes.
the three of us, we each would have had a different winner. For me, the winner for me absolutely was Q. I really loved her concept.
Mine would have been Nymphia.
And mine was the winner.
And Lana is correct, as is usual.
I'm glad they did it as 3 high, and they didn't
I
put any of them low.
absolutely agree with that because they all deserved a high placement for sure. It was an incredible bottom 2. Morphine and Sapphira. It was very obvious. And we get a lip sync to my favorite Kelsey Ballerini song. I miss me more. Miss me to my snare drum. I miss me. It's so good. And I'd been waiting for something from Kelsey's catalog on Drag Race. This is the perfect choice for it. I have to say, I really enjoyed this lip sync. And I love that both of them took 2 very different approaches to this lip sync. I'm curious who you all would have had as the winner, because I've seen a lot of different opinions online about this lip sync.
Yeah, a lot of discourse on the line about this.
Yeah. This was an interesting one because for me, like, I've known the person who needs to send home Morphine is Sapphira. How are we going to have that happen?
A
Because
country song.
Right. I felt like this was really like, because it's not going to be Q. It's probably not going to be Plain Jane. It's probably not going to be Nymphia.
I could see it being Plain. I think Plain is the only other person left in the competition that I think, with her comedic shtick, to that exact point that you're making, Lana, like with her comedic shtick, give her the right song against Morphine, I could see her doing it. But we all kind of agreed the person that was going to send Morphine home was going to be Sapphira, and it kind of just all lined up in a nice way.
You know, I just realized that Plain Jane kind of does the Alexis Mugler, like the bobblehead of it all.
Is that why I don't like Plain?
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. I did like Alexis Mugler.
Yeah. But going back to this lip sync, so I was just expecting an absolute like either like a killer neck to neck performance, or Sapphira was just gonna slay her. It felt really reined in for Sapphira, and I know that was a deliberate choice, but for me, I kept being like, do something. I was actually kind of disappointed in Sapphira in this. Is there a world where I would have sent Sapphira home? Absolutely not. I don't care if she came and just sat on the stage. Like, there's no way she should go home against Morphine. But for me, it was way too close for comfort. And I don't know. I think Morphine was drawing my eye a lot more. I don't know, because we've seen Sapphira do some killer lip syncs. She hasn't always had like she had Break My Soul, which was great, but other than that, we saw Meghan Trainor, which wasn't the best song for her, but
they did her and Morphine did the best they possibly could with that song.
Yeah, I don't know. If I'm being honest, I think Morphine probably caught my eye a bit more and maybe won the lip sync, but there's no way I would have sent home Sapphira. I don't care. I do not care. Morphine, you're gone.
Here's my thing. I don't think. I feel like Morphine maybe caught people's eye more because she was doing a lot more and she was moving a lot more. But I don't think Sapphira's lip sync was a bad lip sync. She gave a subtle lip sync. And I think a lot of people take the subtleness of a lip sync and say it was a bad performance. No, because this is how smart Sapphira is. Sapphira knows what Ru likes. Ru like a lot of dances and tricks and things that Morphine was doing, but Ru also likes to laugh, and Ru also likes the stuff that is out of the box for a lip sync. Like take a regular that song. If Sapphira was gonna be like, I miss me more, doing all that dancing around, it would have looked just like Morphine. But what Sapphira did was smart. She just looked at you, and she does that. She gives you. We just talked about it in the UK when Marina just turns ever so slightly, and that made Ru like, oh, love her. It's in the eyes for Sapphira. That's what Ru love. It's the playfulness of it. That child, I'm so over this moment. Like that's Sapphira's brand. It's like, girl, she is the auntie. She is the You see that? And so her whole performance was like, you think I'm gonna miss you? Boy, I miss me more. Like it was that, and then she would throw in a few little, that raggedy cartwheel. I'm gonna say Spirit, that cartwheel was a little janky. The little cartwheel.
Where were her panties?
Baby, it was a little janky.
I was like, girl.
But she fixed it.
But with that big hair on her head.
Absolutely. I'm like, it was a lot. Skirting that hair was a lot to deal with. But she got it together, and she was, did the split and down. And then when she popped up and didn't get all the way up, it was kind of like she gave you the burst and then she brought it back in. That's Sapphira's just, she knows what Ru likes. Ru don't need all that high flying, flipping and flopping and kicking and down. Ru old school. Ru is old school. She like performance. She like that wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And that is what Sapphira gave. And that's why I think she won. And it's what some people, that's not their tea. They don't like that subtleness in a performance. They want to see you flip. They want to see you kick. They want to see you jump around and do some things and make me watch you. You're catching my eye with this. No, that shiny dress was just doing what she always do, which is great, which was not bad. Morphine did not do bad. No. She did not do bad. She just did what Morphine did. And they would go send her home regardless. Like you said, Sapphira could have sat on that stage, crossed her legs and said, I miss you.
The only way Sapphira was going home is if she walked off and self-eliminated.
Yeah,
and even then they probably still would have sent Morphine home. Like,
yeah, they would send her home regardless.
It was one of those interesting scenarios that we do sometimes see on Drag Race, where the absolute front runner, and I think of this as well. And Jada Essence Hall was actually on the pit stop this week and talked about this exact scenario, because she was in this exact scenario as the front runner on her season, ended up in the bottom at top 6 against the girl who was in her 4th lip sync for her life. Mm-hmm. And that lip sync to 1989, by the way, Lana, was incredible. And that's one of my personal favorite lip syncs of all time.
You would love the runway too, Lana.
Purple rain. It's so good. It was all purple. Mm-hmm. It was a gorgeous purple runway. What I will say about this lip sync, it was kind of an impossible task for Morphine. And I think she knew that going in. Mind you, also, we have to look at the optics of, this is the 5th time we've seen Morphine lip sync this season. And this is the 3rd time we've seen Sapphira lip sync. I still think, even in all of that, they both were able to give different performances than anything they had given before. And that's what I loved so much about this lip sync. I really, really enjoyed both of their performances. I thought they both did a very, very good job. For me, at the end of the day, I think Morphine had a great lip sync to this song. And I think Sapphira performed this song. And that was the difference for me. I believed this song coming out of Sapphira a little bit more than I did coming out of Morphine. The cartwheel was crunchy. I agree with that for sure. But I am someone, I don't always need the stunts and the tricks and the flips. And I do love when a queen does it. And we've seen a lot of that this season. I love a girl that can, this wasn't necessarily a park and bark, but I love a queen that can just command energy and command a song by not doing that much. And that's why I love someone like Jada Essence. She is someone that does that very, very well. Heidi N Closet, someone else that does that very well. Sasha Colby, someone else that does that very well, but also still has the studs and everything like that. So for me, I think it was a very close lip sync. They both did very, very good. Ultimately, there was not a universe that they were going to send Sapphira home. Like I said, Sapphira would have had to send herself home, and even then, they probably still would have sent Morphine home. And that is exactly what happened. Sapphira wins the lip sync. Morphine is eliminated, joining an iconic panel of 5th place queens. And I've really enjoyed Morphine on this season. She gave me a lot more than I thought we would get out of her. I was even thinking about it. I'm like, is there a challenge I would have given her a win? I don't know. Probably not. The closest she got was the power performance, and even then, Sapphira knocked that out
Later up.
So,
Mhm.
but I've loved Morphine this whole season. I'm very happy that I drafted her in the beginning of the season because she's been really enjoy watching, someone that I think has a really nice banter in the workroom, seems like just a genuinely lovely person, and I'm excited to see where her drag is going to elevate moving forward.
Yeah, I agree, because I think we even saw a lot of growth just in the 13 episodes that she was here. She definitely, her second half of the journey was way better than the first half for me, because it was just so like invisible. Just
Well, she was safe for 7 episodes,
right.
so that will do it.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, she had, I guess, more highs and lows in the second half, but
Sure did.
she definitely, like, even personality, I felt like she opened up a lot more. Her problem though is, like, even with the growth she had, I'm just gonna say it, this top 4, like, it's hard to compete with them. Like, honestly, all things considered, I think this is the perfect top 4 for the season, and it's probably my favorite top 4 since season 9 of Drag Race.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they're all super talented, even if I don't always like them as people. They're just absolutely bringing it to this season, and like, for me, it's just a big gap between them and everybody else, if I'm being honest.
Fair. Go on, do your thing, Miss Morphine. Apparently, she told Michelle she might get another BBL. So you know what? You go get your second BBL if you really want that. You got Drag Race money now to do it.
Maybe
So.
then that thing can start doing that thing. Like she
You know, I was thinking the second BBL might have the thing. Start doing the thing.
do the thing.
So I'm hopeful, but yeah, I've loved seeing her. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see her in a few years and see the growth. And you know, I'd love to see her again later down the line. But Morphine. Do we have a draft update, David?
We sure do have a draft update. It's there. It's happened. There's a draft. I was not involved in it. Okay, I pulled it up. Okay, so we don't need to talk about the last couple spots.
Thank you.
But we do have Eve in 4th place with 67 points. She's hanging on by a Q. And then we have in 3rd place is Rhea, hanging on by a Nymphia Wind. And in 2nd place, Brandon is also hanging on by a Nymphia Wind. And in 1st place is Logan, hanging on with a Sapphira Cristal.
A crystal and a dream.
Yes, I didn't give the points for everybody. 67, 77, 82, 96.5.
Well, shit.
Yeah, I think it's mathematically impossible for Logan to lose this draft, since we've only got 2 competitive episodes left. Unless we're giving heck, we might give some points for the. Oh, I don't. Spoilers. There might be some points for people that weren't expecting points.
Aiden, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. Next week, Final 4, Final Maxi Challenge. The book challenge is back. Speaking of season 2, we've been making season 2 references all day. I'm very excited for this challenge. And I'm so excited that it's not a remix. I have to be honest. But I was never expecting the book challenge to come back. I'm so excited.
Okay, so do we think we're getting the final 4, or are we going to? That's going to be non-elimination, or are we getting the final 3?
I think we're getting a final 3.
When's the last time we had a final 3?
Season.
Well, I guess we had one in season 12, but that was
Season 12.
different circumstances.
But I guess the answer would be season 12 then.
Mhm.
Before that, it would have been season 8.
Oh yeah, season 8.
So you think we're getting a season and final 3?
So every 4 seasons.
I guess. Work season 20. I'm excited for the top 3 season 20.
I don't know. I kind of feel like we're getting to top 4.
You think?
I do.
Another
For
non-elimination.
some reason, it's going to be a top 4.
I kind of
I
hope
can
so
see it.
because I'm not ready to lose anybody yet. But I know it's also
I
like
am more than okay with losing Miss Plane-Jeunet personally.
yeah,
but
she would be my choice out of the 4.
she would be my choice as well.
Yeah. I just think we're going to get a final 4. That'd be good.
I could see it, and I mean, it would not be out of the realm of possibility for to do a top 4. They've done a top 5 before, so like honestly, anything is possible. But that's that. We're gonna get out of here as we close out season 16. 3 more episodes to go, and we'll be back next week, same time, same place, same us, maybe with different people. Who knows? But we'll still be here talking shit and talking about the top 4, episode 14 of RuPaul's Drag Race season 16. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe if you have not already, because we are covering all things drag. As we wind down, this is now the only active Drag Race franchise we're covering. We are covering Solo Las Mas down in Mexico, so make sure to check out that coverage if you want, and watch La Mas Draga. It's very good, y'all. It's very, very good. It's all on YouTube for free. It's free. You have to pay for WoW Presents.
And no commercials this time.
And no commercials.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. I love it. But yes, make sure to subscribe if you've not already. We're covering all drag all the time. Go follow all 3 of our other channels. Subscribe to our membership channel. All those links are down in the description below or in the little description. Hit the join button, hit the super thanks, all those lovely things. While you're down in the description, you could also follow us on social media at The Cut Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You could go follow all 3 of us individually because we're great. We're fabulous. Many of y'all are probably thirsting over David. So go follow David. In case people needed to know, David literally lists his Instagram on screen. So y'all don't need to comment what his Instagram is because it's literally listed on screen. So if you actually watched the episodes, you would know that David lists his Instagram on screen.
You might be disappointed if you're wanting to thirst over me.
You're going to be very disappointed if you're wanting to thirst over David. I can promise you that.
Yeah, no pictures of me.
And you go get your merch, including but not limited to cup mug down below it. We're going to get out of here. This has been a very, very long day, but a very enjoyable day nonetheless. And I appreciate all of you and you 2 bitches that I do all of this with. Cheers.
Cheers.
Did you just tell me? No.
I did.
How dare you?
But I miss me more. Da, 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 da.